to you. I don't want to stop you guys talking.
Yeah, it's great.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Just a question. What time is it?
At 5:15.
5:15. Thank you. What
Okay.
is this?
This is about the Oscars. It's about Joaquin Phoenix. So it's a copy of his speech that he gave. I don't know if you guys watched the Oscars or if you saw what he said. It was quite famous.
The Oscars?
Yeah, but like this speech in particular, it made the news
The last? Okay.
like 2 weeks ago. Did anyone watch the Oscars?
I saw the speech of this guy.
Okay, so I was thinking maybe you could like read a little bit each. So I'll start. Joaquin Phoenix accepts the Oscar for actor in a leading role for the film Joker at Oscars 2020. In his speech, he honoured his late brother River Phoenix. Read the full transcript below. So, well, do you want to start?
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to continue to use our voice for the voiceless. I've been thinking a lot about some of them. Okay. Well, do you want to? We've been thinking a lot about some of them. Commonly? No.
So we're looking for an adjective.
I've been thinking a lot about.
Can either of you guys help?
I have a big problem because I don't know what it is an adjective.
It's something that describes a noun.
Okay.
Adjetivo.
Okay, distressing?
Uh-huh.
Distressing. Distressing issues that we are facing collectively. I think at times we feel, or we're made to feel, that we champion different causes, but for me, I see two
Commonality, yeah.
commonality.
So that's something you have in common, a commonality.
Okay, I see two commonality, I think.
It's not, you don't read the number, just I see commonality.
Okay, I see two.
No.
So, yeah, okay. Commonly, I think whether we are talking about gender inequality or racism, or queer rights, or indigenous rights, or animal rights, we're talking about the fight against the injustice. We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one people, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate.
Yeah.
To dominate, control, and use and exploit another with impunity.
Yeah, perfect. So?
I think that we've become very disconnected from the natural world, and many of us, what we're guilty of is an egocentric world view, the belief that we are the center of the universe. We go into the natural world and we
Plunder?
Plunder, yeah.
and we plunder, and we plunder it for its resources. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her even
Yeah,
even
even though.
though her cries of anguish are unmistakable.
Mm-hmm.
Then we take her milk that's intended for her cough and we put it in our coffee and our cereal. And I think we fear the idea of personal change because we think that we have to sacrifice something to give something up. But human beings at our best are so inventive and creative and ingenious. And I think that when we use love and compassion as our guiding principles, we can create, develop,
And implement.
And implement, yeah.
and implement systems of change that are beneficial to all.
Okay, Eric, do you want to take over? So this one starts with a
Mhm.
words.
To all. I need the 7.
Yeah, but it's a new. Oh no, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So all.
System of change that are beneficial to all. And then that's a dot. There's
Yeah,
To all,
yeah.
to all what?
Yeah, to all.
And then
So it's to all something beings.
sentient.
Yeah.
Sentient?
Mm-hmm.
Sentient beings and to the environment. Now I have been criminality.
Mm-mm.
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel, yeah.
I have been a scoundrel in my life. I've been selfish. I've been cruel at second chance.
Wait, you missed a line.
I've been cruel at times. Hard to work with an. Okay. I've been cruel at times. Hard to work with an ungrateful, but so many of you in this room have given me a second chance. And I think that's when we are at our best. When we support each other, not when we cancel each other out for past mistakes, but when we help each other to grow, when we educate each other, when we guide each other towards redemption. That's the best of community. When he was 17, my brother wrote this lyric.
It said.
It said, "From the rescue with love and peace will follow."
Okay, guys. First of all, do you have any questions about any words that you don't understand in the text?
Sentient, it could be, well, sentient is sentir.
Yeah, so it's like a conscious being, like an animal that can feel
Okay,
things.
but it could be used also for non-physical things, for sentir, sentimiento.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sentient.
Yeah, it means
Yes,
like.
conscious, aware, okay.
Yeah.
Remember.
Yeah, plunder is often used with pirates.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, those two words often go together. Like pirates would like plunder a country or like a town. Yeah. Anything else in the text?
Give me a sec.
Redemption. Redemption is kind of, I don't know what exactly is it.
It's when you've done something bad, so you try and do something good to get forgiveness.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, I remember a movie called Shawshank Redemption.
yeah.
That means that that was the redemption means in that context that he was going to go out of jail or something. So,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, do you remember the brother of this guy? That's Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't, but like I've seen films with him in.
He died.
Yeah.
10
Like
years ago.
I knew about. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah.
And what it means, what he means with unmistakable.
It's like unmistakable means without a doubt. Like
Okay.
Inequívoco.
yeah.
I didn't see the Oscar. This was the real speech. Okay.
Yeah, I think in like award shows like the Oscars, I think people go one of two ways. Like a lot of people in these Oscars, they were like they made a point about politics or about like lack of diversity. Is it either that or they're like, I want to thank my mum, my dad, my brother, my husband. Like
Yes.
it's one of two.
In fact, it's supposed that those speeches are kind of planned for, but as the show is live,
Live,
they
yeah.
can say what. Since we did the other one who says politician, something linked to politics was Brad Pitt, he said something.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the speech? Do you think it's like
I think it's
appropriate?
cool. I think it's
It's
right.
movie. It's
Yeah.
movie.
Do you think it's appropriate for the Oscars?
Sorry?
Do you think it's appropriate for the Oscars?
I think it's appropriate because, as he said, like it's a live show, so even when people will not want to listen, like the truth, like the toughest truth, I think it's cool because it keep us
It keeps us.
it keep us.
Keeps us.
Sorry,
What are you saying?
keeps us on the way of thinking and reflection on these things. Because, for example, with the cow, I have never, like,
You never think about it.
I
do
never
you?
think about it.
Yeah.
and now it is really, it's something really mean, and it's something that it makes you feel really sad about all the things that's going on. So I think it's right, but also it will be people that will be offended,
Yeah, of course.
and it will be like outraged because he took this place and this time to say this, and they will say, maybe you could say thanks to your mom and your dad and that's it. But I think he's right with the thing that he's saying.
I think that it's good what he said, because the nature of the human being is screwed. Because we have to kill animals, we have to kill cows, we have to kill chickens to feed ourselves. But otherwise, what's the other option? So stop eating meat or stop drinking milk, stop eating meat. What's the other?
Be creative,
What's the other alternative?
cultivate meat on a laboratory.
So on the other hand, I think that this is not
I have a little plans.
I disagree with these people who normally give speeches, this is not a political speech, but most of them are kind of aligned to the Democratic Party. And that's why you were saying some people feel outraged because especially the conservative people in the US disagree with taking a stage or a box witness to say things about.
Yeah.
That's what this treats me. So that's why I will take advantage of this waiting box or this stage to say
Platform, you say as well. Like it's
this
like
platform to
a
say
metaphorical
to say
platform.
what I want. So and promote my leanings, my
Agenda.
agenda.
So?
I don't know if it is appropriate for the Oscar. I don't see the Oscar often, and I can see mixed messages here.
Do you think?
Yeah, because
Messages what?
Mixed messages.
mixed messages, because okay, is cruel, that life is cruel.
Yeah.
The bear eats fish, and the lion eats zebras, and there are some things that in nature that are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Maybe
sustainable.
the milk of the cow is made for not eat her babies, and that's okay. But as you said before, how often do we need? How can I do for changing this world? He's saying, okay, the world could be better, and we must help each other. That's a good message. My brother said, run to the rescue with love and peace will follow. We must embrace love and help each other. That's a good message. That's okay. But I'm gonna keep putting milk in my coffee. Okay, and without guilt, in any feel of guilty about that.
Of guilt.
Of guilt about that.
By the way, his brother died because an overdose.
Yeah, an overdose. He was like,
I
it was,
don't think he's a very good example for.
it wasn't an accidental overdose.
No.
It was like,
Accidental?
yeah, like so his brother was in a band,
Oh.
and he like was playing like a concert, and he was on stage, and he's like, I don't feel very well, and then like died because I think it was like a mix of alcohol, pills, maybe something
And
else.
he also belonged to a kind of a coach or something. So I guess.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he belonged to cults and weird things. So, well, I understand that he mentioned his brother, Bashirad, and well, the guy was not
Like a
saint.
saint.
It's a great example. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just, he gets really emotional in that
Yeah.
moment and express everything
Yeah.
with emotion, and I think that's why the said messages.
Yeah. Everything. If you watched it, like everything comes out really quickly. Like everything he said was just like.
It was something planned, or he just said like where is
I think it was planned because it was very.
Yes,
It's quite eloquent, you know.
all the speeches are done.
Yeah, I don't know if he planned maybe every single word, but yeah. Also,
Maybe you have an idea.
exactly. And also, what you were saying, sorry, about him not being a very good example. He says at the end, like, now I've been a scoundrel in my life, I've been selfish. Like, I think he does admit that he's not perfect, and that he's not a perfect example.
Well, I guess this guy must be a vegan.
Yeah, there was quite a famous photo, so after this, there's a photo of him and his fiance, she's famous, but I can't remember, I think it's Rooney Mara. Yeah, she's like a famous actress as well. And there's a photo of them like eating vegan burgers
Okay.
backstage.
But that's okay. That's a good message saying I'm not perfect, and talking about redemption. And I think it's a good
It's
message.
a very good actor. I think this.
Yeah, did you guys watch
He
it?
killed
Yeah, it's very.
Massimo Meridio,
That's a very good actor.
Gladiator. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I saw it once, but I was very young.
Very young.
You should
Or like
watch it.
9. I also watched it in French because we were in France. So I don't really understand.
Okay, no, what? I was reading an article a long time ago about movies, and he said there's a movie with a record of the highest people acting in a movie without computers. So
Oh.
nowadays,
Everything's CGI, right?
every scene with a bunch of people, they just use a computer and that people, those people
They're
are
not
not
actually there.
really
Mhm.
people. It's just animation.
It's like a copy paste of people.
But with Gladiator, they didn't use that because
The
it
technology,
was difficult
was
at
not.
that time.
Mhm.
But nowadays, the movies never use so much,
So many people.
so
So
many
many
people, and I think that movie would keep that record forever because
Yeah,
it's not
probably.
possible.
Every time you need less and less people.
Yeah,
It's less and less people, or fewer and fewer people.
Fewer
Yeah.
and fewer.
Fewer and fewer people.
and I watched the movie, and it is in my top 10 now.
Have you watched The Joker?
Which one?
This
The last
one.
one.
Oh yeah.
Because the Oscar he won was because the Joker.
Yeah, I saw this movie. But I think that they focused on the, okay, you're a good actor, but I think this movie really, the real thing wasn't the acting, was the message, was the message this movie is sending to you about society, the problems we have as a community, the distance we put among others, and how we care less and less about your neighbor, your family, and your employees, your colleagues, and that message I think was the trigger of that
Yeah.
phenomenon with the movie. Not just the acting. It's a good actor. I think it's a really good actor, but I think the message sent from this movie was the real trigger of that fame of this movie.
So Eric said something. So in Spanish, you just have the word menos, right, to mean both things. So if you imagine a noun, for example, rice. Rice is something you can't count. Like you don't count the grains of rice. So we would say less rice.
Mhm.
Okay. Fewer could be like apples because you can count them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Less like
Like for example.
fewer
Like
cats.
yeah, exactly.
Fewer and fewer people.
Yeah.
If we were talking about-
and rice will be here.
Mm-hmm.
If we were talking about water, then
Less.
there is less and less water.
Yeah.
It depends because if you're talking about bottle of
Yeah. Exactly.
water, I asked John the other day, would you say, give me a water please? Yeah. Why? Yeah, a bottle of water. Give me a water. Okay.
Yeah, for example, if you're talking about
Less and less.
bottles or like gallons, something
Look
like
at
that.
this. And past it.
Also, for less, you can have like emotions and feelings, like anger. Like I'm less angry. I'm less sad. I'm less. I don't know. Less.
And this is the difference between analog and digital. There are some
Fewer for accountable things and less for not accountable things.
would you see that? Yeah, I have it from another class.
Okay?
Also, interestingly, a lot
Can I
of
have a picture of this?
Yeah, show to me.
English speakers get this wrong. And it's really annoying
No,
for me.
fewer.
English speakers.
Mm-hmm.
So if we improve here, we can say that we are improving on our language skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the other way around would be many and much.
Many
No.
No, because the opposite of less is more.
More.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, okay.
It's the same with many and much, because when you're talking about people, you're saying many people. And
Why do you use much?
I don't know.
It's not the
Much
same.
sugar.
Uh-huh.
But those people are being very much nice. No.
Much is
That
like
is,
much is different. It's not really related. Much is like you say too much, or not very much, or that's kind of like the only times we use it in terms of like counting something. Yeah,
I used to have
Too much noisy. I could.
it's too noisy. Or there is too much noise. Too much, you have to have a noun after it because of some
And that's
people.
a verb. Noisy.
No, it's adjective.
Ah.
So you need like too much rice, for example, too much noise, that's a noun. Too
Too noisy.
yeah.
Too
But
much
much-
noise.
Also many is the same. So many is okay, so I'll write it. Do you guys all have this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much and many is also like countable, uncountable. I see like what one of you was saying now. So much is uncountable.
So you want to take a picture?
Yeah, but later because right now I'm using my phone.
A lot of.
You can say a lot of us.
But also with a lot, you need to be careful with there is and there are. So you can say there is a lot of noise, there are a lot of people. So you have to change the verb depending on what you're talking about. Like there are a lot of books, for example, or there is a lot of
Light.
Yeah. So much is uncountable, many is. You guys want to turn over this another speech?
No?
So this is from the BAFTAs, which is it stands for the British Academy of Film and Television Awards. So it takes place in London. It's quite big. It's like one of the biggest award shows we have in the UK.
Okay.
But yeah, so this guy won there.
Okay.
In the BAFTA Awards 2020, Joaquin Phoenix was praised for calling out systemic racism. Here's his speech in full. Do you want to begin?
I feel very honored and privileged to be here tonight. The BAFTAs have already been very supportive of my career and I'm deeply appreciative. But I have to say that I also feel conflicted because many of my fellow actors that are deserving don't have that same privilege. I think that we sent a very clear message to people of color that you're not welcome here. I think that's the message that we're sending to people that have contributed so much to our medium and our industry and in ways that we benefit from. I don't think anybody wants a handout of preferential treatment, although that's what we give ourselves every year. People just want to be recognized.
The one next to it.
Mm,
That's the definition.
okay.
The one before it.
Acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
People just want to be acknowledged, appreciated, and respected for their work. That's it, or I continue?
Yeah, so. This is not.
Okay. This is not a
Self.
Self
self-righteous
Self-righteous.
condemnation,
Yeah.
because I'm ashamed to say that I'm part of the problem. I have not done everything in my power to ensure that the sets I was on are inclusive. But I think it's more than just having sets that are multicultural. We have to do really the hard work to truly understand systematic racism.
Systemic.
Systemic racism.
Okay, so you want to do the last bit?
I think it is the obligation of the people that have created and perpetuate and benefit from a system of oppression to be the ones that acknowledge,
Dismantle.
Yeah.
dismantle it. So that's on us.
Okay, so what's he talking about here?
So he's saying that a lot of people are talking about the same, that these kind of prices are addressed only for white people. Where some people agree, some other people disagree. I think that to start with, we have to keep in mind that the population of the United States are not the same as black people and white people. Black people represents the